this wheel comparison doesn't make any sense. At least that's what you might be telling yourself. But for me and many other riders, we've started out on the InMotion V11 because it's one of the lighter suspension wheels, decent price and friendly enough to get started on. But many of us have been looking for larger, more capable wheels to upgrade. And now the specs don't really tell the whole story. So this review's more gonna be focusing on the ride feel and how it handles. Alrighty, here we go. Welcome everyone to my V11 Sherman S versus the InMotion V11 comparison video. It's been a long time coming. I'm on 6,000 Ks now on the InMotion V11, and it's been a great EUC to learn and grow on. It's perfect for this sort of chill riding. It's so easy to just go around on the footpaths, seated, slow speeds. It feels really light and nimble after the Sherman S. And the foot plates do feel a bit lower, slimmer between the legs as well. And it's crazy just how thin and lightweight it feels. I have found myself looking down time to time to see a speedo and there's nothing there, but you can just use your phone or something like that, so it's fine. And now the big difference of course is the stability and the suspension. With no rebound damping on the V11, you really do have to anticipate and bend down a bit more for the suspension because it does want to pogo you off. I think if the V11 had damping on the suspension, I might hang on to it as a learner wheel and just my backup wheel, because my Sherman S and I really hate that for longer rides. So the V11's been really handy. Two mates have learned on it recently and it's been fine as a learner for them. I let out the suspension for one bloke and he was up and around the car park in about 10 or 15 minutes. Oh, sick. Later that day, 60k trip, and he was riding seated, so really impressive wheel for learners. And this sort of riding is just so suited for the V11. If I'm on the Sherman here, it feels a bit too slow. I want to be up a bit higher in the speeds. And now another part is a headwind. I'm into a headwind right now. If I'm going faster, you really feel it on the V11. It has trouble pushing through at speeds with the headwind. So you do have to bring it back a bit. Sherman S will push right on through that headwind. And another thing is, because it's only got 1500 watt hour battery, it drops off really quick, and that's the speed I'm talking about. The tilt back kicks in sooner, and it just throttles you down quite slow speeds fairly quickly. And because of that, you can't really take it down to 0% battery, because the speeds get throttled so hard. So I'm doing about 25 Ks each direction just to visit some family today, and that means that I'm going to have to carry my charger in my backpack today. So that's a bit of an extra weight that I don't have to do if I'm on the Sherman S. Now, it's been very reliable for me, no cutouts. I did have that one breakage, and that was the front headlight module, which I documented. That was replaced under warranty, so that was really handy. I was only out of action for about 3 days. And the Tyre It's been on for about 4,000 kilometers, plenty of tread on that tyre, Michelin Pilot Street 2. Really happy with it. Tons of traction, not a problem. Bit sketchy off-road, but it's more stable if you're sitting down. Now, I'm not running front power pads, so I do really miss them for the stability and being locked in, particularly over jumps and with that pogo stick effect. Your feet can become airborne and skip forward on the pedal a little bit, so it can be a little dangerous without the front power pads, but that means that going seated is so easy, and I really love that flexibility. Our local ride leader, Arnie, was kind enough to give me a testimonial about his V11. He gave me a pretty big written piece, so here's a quick summary. If you want to see the full length, pause the video. He said he was quite happy with it as a starter wheel. It had decent suspension, but once again was lacking rebound, which is giving the pogo effect. It was a good starter, but once he upgraded to the Sherman S, he quickly sold the V11. With the S, he was really impressed with the suspension and the huge range from the battery. Now, I know a lot of people have hung on to their V11s, and it's just in a really good sweet spot. And that's the weight, the slenderness, the nimble, and also the speed is good enough for that, top 50% battery. You do have that 45 km/h speed. It can go 55, but not really. It starts tipping back then. But for EUCs, for chill, I reckon, that 45 km/h is really a sweet spot. And that's because the wind resistance isn't getting too high. You don't have to gear up crazy. Well, you should still gear up. Today I'm not wearing the jacket and I need to buy some elbow pads, but otherwise I'm geared up for it. So for a lot of people, that speed is just fine. And I'm still getting about 70 k's of range, which is really respectable. So I'm not seeing much battery sag. I'm down to about 83.7 volts, and I think nominal is about 84 volts at 100% charge. So barely any fade after, 18 months, and also 6,000 kilometers. So not bad at all in that regard. Now, if it's such a great wheel, then why am I looking to sell it? Well, I do like to be frugal, and I really don't need a second wheel after the Sherman S is so capable, and that's my main driver. I don't get on this unless I break down, so that's not really good enough reason to hang on to it. I got the e-scooter as a backup plan, and look, with all the development in EUCs, they do go out of date pretty quick. So I think if I'm going to pick up another wheel, it'd be, a 16-inch variant, a little trail-based, maybe the Patton or the InMotion V14 Adventure, something like that. So, why would I recommend this to a new rider? Well, if you can pick it up second-hand as a learner or a beta, because the new wheels are quite a lot more expensive. So these can be quite a good discount. And are you going to be put off with the 84 volts? Well, it's really quite impressive up to that top speed of about 45 that I was telling you about. It feels like a pickup is, pretty fun still. And I'm saying if you still have the V11, don't be upset. It's still a really fun wheel, and you don't need to be going 60, 70 k/h to have fun on an EUC, particularly when you're chilling on footpaths and bike paths. Alright, once again there's a new EUC on the market, the InMotion V11Y. We have this new model coming out, and if you're buying it new, yes, it looks better, but even if I had this new model now, my points would remain the same, and I'd still be looking to sell it. So here are the main spec differences. I think the biggest upgrade is going to be the redundancy, the power, and the upgraded stock tyre, foot plates look good. Yeah, so if you're looking to buy a new EUC and you're at eRiders, consider supporting the channel and using my code. Alright, back to the video. But for me, because it's a vehicle replacer, I sold my car last year. I do really want that extra stability and range, comfort, power that the Sherman S just provides. All of that just feels so solid. I love that aspect about it. And of course, for the real short trips, I still use the Onewheel pint, and that's just so much fun. Just feels like a toy. It's so lightweight and nimble. I might like to get the Court battery upgraded, double the range, because the range is only about 10k at the moment. It's really small. Alright, so I forgot a few things that the V11 actually does better than the Sherman S, so I'll quickly list them off. The app is better, and I love having the split riding mode for the braking and acceleration. That's just awesome. Wish veteran Sherman could get that. Also, the wheel beeps are transmitted into EUC World to your speakers or your Bluetooth headphones, whatever. Sherman S can't do that. Also, the trolley handle and wheeling around the stores is a lot better on the V11 because it's just lighter, more nimble. It feels better in the hand. A bit slimmer for putting behind a car seat, that sort of thing. And of course, lifting it. But a lot of people do have problems with the air suspension and have to get that changed. Luckily, mine generally holds air, but I still have to check it every maybe 2 weeks or so. I'm running about 75 in the top chamber and 110 in the bottom chamber. That's with a riding weight of around 75 kilograms, 165 pounds, and also around 33 psi in the Michelin Pilot Street 2 tyre. One big difference between them is just notice hitting bumps and get off angle with the V11 that it just doesn't feel as sturdy and well put together as the Sherman S. It feels almost a bit loose. The suspension's a little bit sloppy. Alright, the last thing I swear is that the braking on the V11 is far superior to the Sherman S. It's much more responsive, and yeah, the Sherman S just feels a bit sluggish, sadly. Also a lot easier to just balance on one leg because it's so light. Anyway, hopefully that clears up some things about the in-motion V11 versus the Sherman S, and if you're looking at one or the other, I'm sure you'll have fun with both, but those are the reasons I'm going with the Sherman S. Alright, thanks so much, and I'll catch you next time. This video wraps up season 1 of my EUC collection. Thank you so much everyone for joining me and growing my channel along the way. I'm happy to announce that season 2 is already underway, and I'm excited to see you there.